Welcome back. Today we're diving into the wisdom of the ancient world, exploring powerful mythologies, religions, and philosophies that have shaped human thought for millennia. We'll be looking at Greek myths, Sumerian stories, Christian teachings, Buddhist wisdom, African folklore, the depths of psychology, and timeless philosophies that offer answers to some of life's biggest questions. All cultures use stories to explain the world and our place in it. From ancient Greece to the depths of African folklore, storytelling has been a tool for survival, understanding, and connection. Today we'll explore the common threads between these diverse stories. In Greek mythology, Prometheus defied Zeus to bring fire to humanity. Fire symbolized knowledge and power, and by giving it to mankind, Prometheus changed the course of history. His punishment was severe, chained to a rock where an eagle ate his liver daily. But the gift he gave remains essential to humanity's progress. The Sumerians, one of the earliest known civilizations, believed that gods like Anu, Enki, and Enlil created humanity to serve the gods. But the story took a twist. Humans began to question their place in the universe, setting the stage for humanity's search for meaning. In the Christian story of Genesis, Adam and Eve were created to live in paradise. Yet they succumbed to temptation, eating from the tree of knowledge, and introducing sin into the world. The consequences were immense: expulsion from Eden and the beginning of human suffering. Buddhism offers a different view of life's struggles. The Buddha taught that suffering is an inherent part of life, but we can transcend it by understanding the Four Noble Truths. Suffering comes from desire, and by practicing the Eightfold Path, we can find peace and enlightenment. Anansi, a trickster god in West African mythology, is both clever and cunning. He is often depicted as a spider who outwits other gods and mortals, teaching lessons about wisdom, intelligence, and survival. His stories are told to this day in many African cultures. Carl Jung's theory of archetypes suggests that the same patterns of behavior appear in myths, dreams, and stories across cultures. Characters like the hero, the shadow, and the wise old man are a part of our collective conscious, shaping how we perceive the world and our role in it. Plato's allegory of the cave explores the nature of reality. Prisoners are chained in a cave, only able to see shadows on the wall, believing them to be reality. When one prisoner escapes and sees the world outside, he realizes the truth. But when he returns to tell the others, they reject him. This story explores the human tendency to resist change and the search for truth. Hercules is perhaps the quintessential hero of Greek mythology, performing 12 labors that tested his strength, courage, and resolve. His story embodies the hero's journey, a universal template in myths and stories across cultures, representing the struggle between good and evil, inner demons, and personal growth. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the oldest stories in human history. It follows the journey of Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, as he searches for immortality. Along the way, he encounters gods, faces personal loss, and learns that the key to life is not immortality, but in how we live it. In the New Testament, Jesus tells the parable of the Good Samaritan, where a traveler is beaten and left for dead. Two religious figures pass by him, but a Samaritan, considered an outsider, stops to help. This story teaches us the importance of compassion regardless of background or beliefs. Siddhartha Gautama, the historical Buddha, was born into a life of luxury, but after encountering the suffering of the world, he left his palace and enlightenment. His meditation under the Bodhi tree led to a profound realization. The key to ending suffering lies within our minds. In Yoruba mythology, the supreme god Olodumare created the world. With the help of Orunmila, the deity of wisdom, together they shaped the earth and life upon it. This creation myth reflects the importance of collaboration, wisdom, and respect for the natural world in African spirituality. Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung both emphasized the power of the unconscious mind. Freud argued that our repressed desires influence our behavior, while Jung focused on the collective unconscious. The shared experiences and symbols common across humanity are deeply connected to these unconscious forces. The famous philosopher Socrates emphasized the importance of self-knowledge. His command to know thyself urges us to understand our own natural place in the world. This wisdom can be found across many philosophical traditions, teaching us that only through understanding ourselves can we navigate the complexities of life. Orpheus was a musician so skilled that even the gods were enchanted by his music. After losing his wife, Eurydice, for the second time due to his inability to resist looking back at her, Orpheus's story reflects the pain of loss and the complexity of love. His tale is a testament to human vulnerability. Inanna, the Sumerian goddess of love and war, descends into the underworld to visit her sister, Ereshkigal. During this journey, she is stripped of her power, representing the cycle of life and death and the necessary surrender of the self to embrace transformation. One of Jesus' most powerful parables, the Prodigal Son, tells of a son who demands his inheritance and wastes it in reckless living. Upon returning home, he is welcomed back with open arms by his father. This story represents forgiveness, redemption, and the unconditional love of a parent. In Buddhism, the concept of Anatta teaches that there is no permanent, unchanging self. Our sense of identity is an illusion. And by letting go of attachment to a fixed self, we can find freedom. This idea challenges the Western notion of an enduring individual entity. In some African myths, the sun and the moon were created by the gods who were responsible for bringing light and balance to the world. Their movements across the sky are often interpreted as a symbol of the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The hero's journey is not only a mythological archetype, but a pattern for personal growth. It teaches us that we all go through trials, face inner demons, and are ultimately transformed by the challenges we overcome. Personal development is much like the mythological hero's path. The Stoics, including philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, emphasize that we should focus only on what's within our control. This philosophy teaches that while we can't control the external world, we can control our reactions and attitudes towards it, leading to peace of mind and resilience.